Yay. Aloha, everyone. Hi. Wonderful. Nice to see you all here. My little blip of trying to get into my Zoom this afternoon just is going to bring me right into the segue of what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm super excited. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started today. I know that it is a busy week for most of us, especially for those that are moms with those kids at home. And so we're going to be talking about something fun, and we're going to be talking about upgrading our systems. So this afternoon, I had a little harder time to actually get on my computer, and I thought, oh my goodness, I have to call the guy, the IT guy that actually comes over and cleans it all up and actually, makes my computer all nice and fast and run smoothly. And I thought, oh, this is exactly what we do on a regular basis when we are activated. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm super excited to have you all here. I'm Kamaile with Wellness with Mana, and I have been in the Hawaiian healing industry and health field for probably the last 18 plus years, somewhere around there. So when I heard about what I'm about to share with you, I was extremely skeptical just because of my own personal background and thinking that I really understood herbal healing. I really understood health. I really understood it from my perspective as a Hawaiian Indigenous health practitioner. However, when I really came to finally look at the information, I realized there was a special component that I was actually missing. So I am going to try and play mute, the game of mute for everyone that is joining in with us. But if I can't do that, because I'll be sharing screen, if everybody could please go ahead and mute themselves as we come in, and I'll go ahead and get started. So yay. Let's do this. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started playing here. So as I started the call, I was telling everyone that my computer is so slow right now, and I don't know what's bogging it down, but what do we need when our technology goes on the blink? What happens when we actually, need a new cell phone and our cell phone battery is dying? Typically, we just trade it in or trade it up and whatnot. Well, think of that as actually being our bodies. We unfortunately can't necessarily upgrade to the latest model of the iPhone as we could, but in essence, what we can do is provide our bodies what science is now calling really technology of health, and giving our bodies ability to actually boost our operating system so that we can feel better. And I'm only sharing that because it's so relatable in our world, and especially right now where technology is so prominent in times, such as we're, cooped at home, COVID, we have, schooling that we're dealing with. We have, we're on our devices, our phones, as well as our computers. It's quite insane the amount of technology that we're really inviting into our spaces just so that we can find a new way to survive. But when we slow down our minds and actually go back to that indigenous mindset of that I'm so, happy that I was really raised around, it's really all about this. Let's build wellness rather than treating disease. So if we take care of our operating systems, if we take care of our bodies, if we take care of our land, if we take care of our environments, then we can really prolong that ability of our bodies, our minds, our spirits to really excel the way that we need them to as we progress and age. Because today I kind of want to focus in on aging. It is inevitable, guys, that we are going to be aging. It's obvious that we go from that beautiful baby state, fresh, beautiful skin, just glowing. All we're doing is seeking out joy and finding ways that we can play. all day long. But as we grow and age, that fun and excitement and ability to really just kind of capture that, if you will, starts to fade. And that's not typically, you know, what we choose to do in our mindsets, but it's something that just naturally progresses. But the question is, how do we slow down that process? And some of the doctors that we are following here really dive into that. So let's get into that. Sorry, I'm blabbing so long. So as I love to point this out, this is a typical picture of what I, you know, see on Instagram all the time. We're eating healthy, we're exercising, we're, enjoying our community and friends and family. We're saving money, putting money. We're definitely, vacationing and getting away and having those moments of silence. But is that truly our reality? It feels a little bit more like this. We're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with a pandemic that is worldwide. Somebody had mentioned earlier today that China is on the third round of COVID. I don't even know what we're in. Everybody could go ahead and look down and mute your phone or your computer. That would be lovely. And then at the end of the day, I mean, so much is dependent on the stress that we're taking in, because there's too much month at the end of the money. Oftentimes we're running so short on time because we're, in that technology world, we're just trying to make ends meet, where we're probably just searching for quick fixes as far as our food choices go. And I love this picture of this mom at the bottom right here. That feels like a lot of us, or a lot of people that we actually know. It's just like, okay, how do I get up off the bed? Let's just make it from there. So this truly is our reality. And why I mention all of this is because this low-lying underlying grade of stress that is affecting our body, whether or not you know it or not, is actually affecting that aging process. When we look at the study of epigenetics, which basically is looking at our genes and how we can improve our genetic expression so that we can overcome illness, overcome diseases, actually, slow down that aging process, we can actually do this by the choices that we make, such as meditation, diet, nutrition, environmental factors, de-stressing. Sleep quality is huge when it comes to biohacking. And biohacking was a word I certainly wasn't, like we say in Hawaii, ma'atu, or very comfortable with, only because it seemed very scientific. It seemed like it was, brought up in a lab somewhere. I just didn't resonate with that. However, what I did resonate with was the fact that we have choices in front of us. And when we make the right choices, we tend to make the next right choice, and the next right choice, and the next right choice. And that truly is what biohacking is. It's taking control of our choices so that we can actually make a difference in our health state now, for our future, and to pass it on to the future generations to come. And in Hawaiian thought, we actually changed that energetic connection to 7 generations back as well. So it's hugely powerful, the choices that we're putting and presenting in front of ourselves. So most of us here that have invited you to this call, or have come to learn about biohacking and epigenetics and nutrigenomics, that's another big crazy word I didn't understand. We end up finding that this company, LifeVantage, was leading with such high integrity in the realm of nutrigenomics, that we decided to link arms, and we decided to follow this quote unquote technology to progress us into the future of our health. So let's look at that. Again, biohacking with nutrigenomics, if we look at it, it's a scientific study of the nutrients, obviously nutrition that we're putting in our body, and the natural compounds on our genetic expression. So again, changing our DNA is what we're really after, so that we can live longer, healthier. And then what we're going to look at today is actually how this all came together with the company LifeVantage. And we started looking at aging. Okay, Dr. McCord and his team of scientists really went down the rabbit hole in the realm of pharmaceuticals, found quickly that it was not the solution. It just didn't react. So what he did was he actually took his research and went into and teamed up with Ayurvedic medicine practitioners and doctors, And what they found was basically that indigenous herbs that we have known to heal for centuries and centuries and centuries. So this is nothing new. But here's the key that I, as a Hawaiian Indigenous practitioner, came to realize is that it's the synergy that brought all of these together that is making that technology actually work for our bodies. So let's dive into the 3 theories of aging. We're gonna first look at what is known as the first theory of aging, which is basically our cells are rusting from the inside out. And so that rusting is actually called oxidative stress. If everybody could look down at their phone or their computer and mute themselves, that would be lovely. Thank you. Okay, so let's hear. So we're rusting from the inside out. So just like this car, this is basically the first theory of aging that that is happening, that kind of brings us that slump, if you will. Let's look at it. I'm very visual in this representation of what's going on a cellular level in comparison rather to an apple. So if we take a beautiful new fresh apple that we just hopefully picked from the tree, but in Hawaii we have to actually buy them, and we put it on the counter, we cut it in half, it actually starts to turn brown in seconds. Oxygen is known, obviously, to be a huge component of our life cycle. We need it to breathe, we need it to actually live, but it's actually the first theory of aging. When oxygen molecules are mispaired, there's too much oxygen going on, it starts to age us. And that browning of that apple is exactly what's happening. Those unpaired oxygen molecules actually start to attack our cells, and those are known as free radicals. We've known that for quite some time. What we don't want to happen, guys, is the demise of our cell, which is basically this oxidative stress state, and where our cells are either breaking off and turning into things such as cancer, or they're dying off completely and we start to lose cognitive abilities like Alzheimer's. So many things are actually related to oxidative stress. We'll take a look at that in a second. And if you'd like to actually read it, oxidative stress here, again, it's an imbalance between the production of free radicals like we talked about due to the numerous daily exposures and assaults and our body's inability to actually neutralize or detoxify those harmful effects. Okay, so as a health coach, as a nutrigenomics coach, I really like to coach people into a better way of choosing, again, that choice of changing our epigenetics, changing our minds, our bodies, our muscles, our bones. So I tell people, consume foods obviously high in proteins, amino acids, antioxidants are really key. We're going to talk about that in a second. Cruciferous foods, so kale, broccoli, all your greens, sulfur-rich foods, those are all going to actually activate, again, our body's ability to ward off and fight off those those free radicals. However, what science has told us now that we've caught up with it is we cannot eat enough antioxidants. Nutrition and even the supplements, even the high quality supplements that were in my cupboard, and actually the food and the medicine that was growing in my yard at the time that I learned about this, I was understanding, because I was feeling it in my body, it just wasn't enough. I couldn't get past my, depression state of, coming out of breastfeeding and having a young son and not eating enough, nutrients and not being able to get ahead, having too much stress, aches and pains in my body, including plantar fasciitis. I couldn't supplement my body enough with the right foods or the right supplements in order to actually combat this quote unquote inflammation, this aging process of what is known as oxidative stress. It's like putting out literally a blazing fire of inflammation with like a Dixie cup of water. If you can kind of imagine that, we're being taught to actually eat vitamin C's, take in our vitamin C's, right? So 1,000 milligrams, if you were to take it as a supplement, actually only cancels out 1,000 free radicals. Well, when you're being bombarded by sextillion amount of free radicals daily, then guess what? We are struggling to actually keep our bodies free from this inflammation and diseased state of being. Now, people ask me all the time, where does that come from? Okay, it comes from just the mere process of eating, okay? So mastication, the process of breaking down our foods, metabolism, too much exercise, too little exercise, stressors, definitely, relationships stressors, let's see here, environmental stresses, all the toxins that we're, combating on a regular basis in our products, on our foods, in our crops, in our lands, in our oceans, the cell phone towers that we're combating right now. All of these things actually start to age us more rapidly, more quickly. And I, like a lot of people, feel like that is why we are in such a dis-ease state of being at such younger ages. So we're talking like, I have people, clients in in their 20s that are dealing with autoimmune diseases. It's too much for our bodies to handle. So let's look at the tools that can help us to get past that. We're talking about activation. This is what I'm so excited about. So activating is something totally different, guys, than supplementing. And, talking about that anti-aging, this is truly the technology that we need to progress us not only now, but into the future. I read an article the other day that a scientist said that the person that is going to live to 1,000 years of age might possibly be alive right here and now, and just doesn't know it because of the technology and the science, that we're really understanding our body in much deeper, rich ways that we were actually designed to do. So when we can go in and actually talk to ourselves directly, because it just goes in instead of a back door through nutrition, right? It goes in and just totally connects to the cell, rings the doorbell of the cell. The cell lets it in because it recognizes that pathway it's talking on, and then flips on the switch to tells our bodies to make millions of antioxidants per second. Guess what? We have a fighting chance. Whoopee! And we start to feel better, and we start to rejuvenate, and we start to actually have that energy again of youth. I'm not joking. Some of the stories that have come out of just being in this practice and helping people have been absolutely amazing. Brings tears to my eyes every Wednesday when we have a call where we share about those stories. So what is it? What is this Protan? What is this little miracle thing? As a functional medicine student, we are taught that not everything is, comes in a pill. And this is just one tool for our bodies. But when we can synergistically blend these natural herbs that have been used for centuries and actually activate our body's ability to fight off those things, wouldn't you want to hear about it? Wouldn't you want to try it? I certainly did. I was definitely like this when I first got into the thing, to, wow, okay, I'm going to give it a try and I'm going to see what it does for my body. And I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm still here taking it. I don't think there'll be a day where I don't take it. This is our Protandim, and it's activating that NRF2 pathway. What it does is it actually lowers our oxidative stress by 40%, guys, within 30 days. Back in 2005, when Dr. McCord, that I mentioned earlier, actually came out with this, because ABC primetime reporter John Quinones wanted to debunk him and his claims of turning back the hands of time. Guess what? He went in, took his blood, and within 2 weeks, his blood was reduced by 45% in regards to oxidative stress. That is absolutely huge. They likened his blood to that of an infant. What it does is it boosts our body's ability to build our own antioxidants. So I can't tell you what these beautiful 5 herbs, the turmeric, the milk thistle, the green tea, bacopa, the ashwagandha, are going to do synergistically do within your body. Because guess what? You're your own thumbprint. You're your own unique self. And you have your own set of DNA that needs to be upregulated. And the nice thing is it also downregulates what we don't need, what our bodies need to process and help to repair and again, rejuvenate. So when we can increase those master antioxidants like glutathione by 300%, catalase 54%, superoxide dismutase by 30%, these are all published in the National Institute of Health's library. When we can do that and claim that, guess what? You can put 2 and 2 together, reduce that oxidative stress, feel better, hopefully live longer, and actually healthier for sure. So again, a quick synopsis of what it does. I love that we actually are slowing down the aging process and increasing our body's production of antioxidants. So our bodies are the miracles doing the job. We're just giving the tools to turn that on. Lastly, PubMed.gov. If you are skeptical like I was, like many of us were, we did our research, and I don't doubt that you will too. This is where to start, PubMed.gov, PubMed.gov. You will find that over 250 illnesses and diseases are actually linked to oxidative stress. I'm sure it's more by now, actually, but thousands and thousands and thousands of articles are done in regards to oxidative stress and the NRF2 pathway. These are some of the associations and the universities that did independent studies because one of them, because of Dr. McCord's work, but one university, Washington State University, came out in 2015 and said that NRF2 activation is potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So I'm super excited. That was our flagship product. That's what kicked off LifeVantage. And that is what we are excited about. But it doesn't stop there. I'm going to quickly run over the fact that we are now activating 2 other main pathways. Kyahi, I'll be with you in a minute. I'm teaching a class. So the second pathway is the NRF1 pathway, okay? And I know I'm getting sciencey, so I'm just gonna quickly go over it again. It's an all-natural product. Once again, it boosts our mitochondria. What is our mitochondria? It's basically the powerhouse and the engine block of our cells. We would not be alive more than 30 seconds to a minute without our mitochondria. In fact, we are made up of so much mitochondria, it actually consumes about 10% of our body weight. And mitochondria is everywhere. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the mitochondria in our mind and in our brain. That is the most concentrated area of mitochondria. And when we can boost that up and actually produce healthier mitochondria, guess what? We're improving sleep, we're improving our cognitive ability, brain health, circulatory and cardiovascular systems, and most of all, we're actually preventing mitochondrial dysfunction. All things that we can share with you after this call, or you can definitely look that up on PubMed.gov. So when we look at then the third pathway that LifeVantage has come to activate, not supplement, activate, we're looking at now NAD. NAD, again, an all-natural ingredients that come together. And what that does is NAD is actually a protein molecule that's found in our cells, okay? They did research to, again, look at the aging process, why we age, because guess what? Most of us want to age a little more gracefully with a little less wrinkles, with a little less aches and pains, and with a lot more vibrancy, and so that we're creating the memories that we really want to with our families, okay? When they started to go down this path of why we age, they figured out that if we start to study intermittent fasting, which was such a huge fad right now, but take it an extreme step further into caloric reduction, and we're talking about 500 to 800 calories per day for a long periods of time, they found out that this NAD molecule started to increase. And what it did was it fed another family of proteins called the sirtuins. Sirtuins can house this, go into a cell, pull apart the DNA, fix what's defunct, put it all back together, put it all, the cell back intact, and then vacuum out all of the crazy receptors that were kind of going cattywonker when the cell was defunct. It is absolutely amazing, this technology that we have to actually not only hopefully live longer again, but also, improves things such as your mood, maintains healthy cholesterol. I have pro athletes that are doing really, really well with their recovery from major workouts because their cells are able to get that boost that it needs to repair itself from that rigorous training that they do. So these are the 3 theories of aging, and basically this is what we do. We aid our bodies. We're looking at antioxidants, immune boosters, and detoxifying our bodies. All of these are really helping us at a cellular level to really help us to age more gracefully and to live longer. I love this, that Dr. Brimhall, he's only one of 2,000, over 2,000 medical professionals that have joined hands with LifeVantage because they see the potential and they know the results that they're getting with their patients and clients. And he says we're no longer supplementing our deficiencies, we're no longer chasing our tails, we are literally activating our pathways to control the aging and the healing processes. Because again, at the end of the day, this is really what we want: more memories with the people that we love in a healthier state of being. And this is our small but very mighty and powerfully packed line of cellular defense of aging. We're helping to defy that aging process, and we're doing this through biohacking. We talked again today about anti-aging. We take our microbiome extremely serious, but today I want to give a little bit more attention to the smart energy, because we're doing, as a team, we're actually giving a way where you can sample these smart energy packs. So you know all that NRF2 activation that I talked about earlier of reducing that oxidative stress? This smart energy drink that is absolutely delicious and that I wouldn't go without gives you not only stamina, energy, clarity. It erases that brain fog, especially at that 1:32 o'clock hour when you're picking up your kids and you need a little bit more of that 5-year-old energy in you. Without the crash. That's the key thing. And it's good for protecting those cells. So we're doing, if you get back to the person that invited you, 5 packets for $25 if we're mailing it, and $20 if we're handing it in person. That way you can taste all of them and actually feel the benefits of what Nutrigenomics can actually do for your body. Beyond that, definitely taking care of our skin is our largest organ, is a huge benefit to us, both in our hair care and our skin care. And we cannot deny that anything that breathes, from horses to bunny rabbits and our kitty cats, all of these are such an integral part of not only our heart health, because we love them so much, but also an integral part of our family. So we've taken that technology and provided it into a pet tandem. A lot of times I have clients that will take care of their pets way more quickly than they will their own bodies. So how do you get started? This is how. You subscribe and save is the best way to do it. It's $127.99 a month for that Tri-Synergizer that I talked about. And that actually equates to about $4.17 per day. So what can you alter in your budget that will help you to save $4.17 per day? Is that a Starbucks coffee? Is that, a Monster drink that your husband's drinking? You can try that Axio. Do something that is really going to help with your health and your longevity in such a unique way that is definitely getting huge, amazing results. So another way, if you're really serious about biohacking and you're somebody who wants to dive all in, this is a great way to save. You can save up to 35% packages that are bundled not only for yourself, but also your family. That you can save. Or if you just want to buy and you just want to dive all in, 60% of our customers actually want to share what that health benefit that they have. So we give you a little starter kit. And if you're truly interested in learning a little bit more about joining hands with us, our company is always constantly growing. And we are always looking for motivated individuals that wants to help to share. That's all we do. So my kuleana today was just to share what I've learned, share my passion of science and healing. And your kuleana is just to make a decision for yourself. And I really appreciate your time. I'm going to stop share. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have, that may have come up. Or if you want me to get on a phone call with you, if you want to get a little bit more personal about maybe something that's either you or a family member happen to be dealing with health-wise, I am more than happy to share my experience and my knowledge. So, hey, I hope that helps. Oh, thanks, Manette. But yeah, I think that we all definitely could benefit from this. And like I said, get back with the person that invited you. We have a lot more to share. There's tons of information in the form of videos and things that you can even take to your doctors. So I really appreciate your time today, and I hope you have a beautiful afternoon. Aloha.